Hello, I'm Dr. Karen Ivy, Department Chair of our Technology Studies Department. I am so excited to introduce to you our featured organization today for industry collaboration, Lockheed Martin Corporation. I worked at Lockheed Martin for 13 years, senior manager over the information technology organization, supporting the space business inside of Lockheed Martin. We're going to hear more about that a little later. But first, let me tell you about the different business segments of Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin is an American aerospace arms, defense, information security, and technology corporation with worldwide interests, locations, and global partnerships. It engages in the research, design, development, manufacturing, integration, and sustainment of technology systems, products, and services. With headquarters based in Bethesda, Maryland, and 115,000 employees, Lockheed Martin has 64 office locations across 15 countries. It operates through 4 business segments: aeronautics, missiles and fire control, rotary and mission systems, and space. What an exciting area. Innovation always in place and in progress throughout the organization. Of its various hiring categories, Lockheed Martin has 61.5% employees who are hired into its technology area or with technology backgrounds. So to all of our tech studies students, if you have not already considered Lockheed Martin as a potential place of employment, definitely look through the information we're featuring in our Tech Connect newsletter, this latest edition. Also, stay tuned for our featured guest speaker who works at Lockheed Martin. So without any further delay, I am so excited to introduce to you our guest speaker from Lockheed Martin. Mr. Mical Franklin is a senior quality analyst at Lockheed Martin. Mr. Mical will speak to us about his walk as a senior quality analyst, his educational path as he prepared in becoming a senior quality analyst, what that really means within the functions. And we're going to follow up that with hearing from a recruiter from Lockheed Martin who will provide to you tips on landing a job at Lockheed Martin. Mical Franklin is a senior quality analyst in the space segment at Lockheed Martin. Mical is an experienced quality assurance analyst with a demonstrated history of working in the defense and space industry. He is skilled in operations management, team building, root cause analysis, management, and leadership. His educational focus is computer science, organizational leadership, and strategic communications from Colorado State University studies, and he furthered his studies to receive his Master's of Science in Computer Science and Software Engineering from Colorado Technical University. I have the pleasure of working with Mical in community as well, and we are in for a treat in meeting Mr. Mical Franklin. Mr. Mical, welcome.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Karen, for the welcome. It's a great opportunity to explore this with you.
Well, I am so excited that you said yes to come here for a couple of reasons. First of all, I know you from where we work together in the community, and it was so exciting just to find out that you currently work at Lockheed Martin. I worked there for 13 years, and I just love inviting you and having you talk about what you do, as well as Lockheed Martin. So let's get into it, okay?
Great. Sounds great.
So As I mentioned in the introduction, Mr. Franklin, Mr. Mical, you are a senior quality analyst at Lockheed Martin. So for our audience, can you tell us what is that? What are the functions of a senior quality analyst?
So a senior quality analyst embodies so many different type of functions, but in relation to what I do specifically, as you can see in the background, it's a space side of Lockheed Martin where they specifically speak to space products that come into Lockheed Martin from our suppliers. And so I'm a liaison to our suppliers in terms of connecting them to our systems, specifically SharePoint, where they actually submit their required data with the material that they ship to Lockheed Martin. And so what I typically do is I strategize in building softwares, testing softwares that help our suppliers focus on making sure they have access to those specific portals, and also giving them, process flows through flow charts, through multiple different streams of opportunities to actually share their information that they send to us. So it's a liaison for our suppliers and for our internal customers as well.
So in your position, you work with a large number of vendors, other stakeholders in the whole alignment of building out the products that you build. And by the way, are you aligned with space in Lockheed Martin, or which particular company, or do you work across the board with Lockheed Martin?
So specifically within space.
Okay.
Is where I strategize at.
Space was my customer. I actually was senior leader over the IT organization supporting space, all of the applications for them.
Yes.
So, yep. We're in the same backyard there.
Exactly.
So I have a question. And again, this is for all the leaders. Take a typical day for you as you come into the office for the day. And we know that you work with various vendors and stakeholders as well within the space company. But how does a typical day flow for the senior quality analyst?
Okay, perfect. So a lot of our communication is done via email. So a lot of our communication, we're communicating with our suppliers daily. So I'll come into a lot of emails. Now our suppliers are nationwide, so a lot of the time zone differences can be affected. So we'll come into a lot of different emails in terms of not having access to a certain portal, troubleshooting exactly what is missing for a specific supplier. So it'll come to noticing how our suppliers are developing within the portal, how they're creating opportunities, building those opportunities within their organization. And so just itemizing through those emails what would be, priority and what would not be a priority, and making sure that we're speaking to the suppliers that are having, are in dire need of help. So we're able to, jump in, see exactly what is missing on either their permissions, or if there's a software error, if they're having IT issues from their employer. So it's just specifically speaking to our suppliers on an individual basis, making sure that within Lockheed Martin, through our systems, they have the proper usernames, and their two-factor authentication is accurate. And, overall, just making sure they are connected to a specific group within their supplier group that has been created on their behalf to be able to perform tasks within SharePoint, within also our cloud service that we have available for our suppliers. So it embodies so many different aspects. So it just depends on a working day. It's just working through the communication with our suppliers, how we connect those suppliers to our team here in space, and make sure that everything is flowing communication-wise effectively.
So you make it sound very easy, but I know it's not, because I've worked with quality analysts, quality engineers, and you are really in charge of managing a lot to be sure that several things are in place. So you mentioned SharePoint, and you mentioned the cloud, some other tools that you use as well. What would you say are some of those top technical skills that individuals must have to be successful in your job?
Teamwork is essential. Being able to galvanize the team, and making sure that you have the individuals in place from a development standpoint, from a testing standpoint, from an overall outlook of the process standpoint as well. So process changes happen a lot to make things better within Lockheed Martin. That is the focus. And the goal essentially is for you to provide a successful atmosphere for internal and external users, right? And essentially that's what we're trying to make sure that we're providing for everyone.
So I wrote down a couple of terms that I'm going to throw these out, and tell me any of them or all of them that really aligns to you and what you and your team does. Because by the way, you are in your senior position, you have individuals reporting to you as well, right? Right. So that's even more responsibility that you work with. So let me throw these out. Adapting to change, work well in a diverse team environment. You mentioned teaming. Data analytics, dealing with a lot of data and large data, big data, right?
Absolutely.
Test plans and test cases, managing those. Software development lifecycle, testing methodologies. Do any of all of those actually encompass what you do in your team on a daily basis?
Absolutely. Every single aspect there, especially the test methodologies, that is key into developing what is necessary for our suppliers and our internal users as well.
Definitely. And I like throwing out those terms because for our students, as they're going through their technology programs, this is what they're studying as well. And I like them to see that alignment. So, Mr. Mical, as you went through your career preparation leading to your current position, how did that path look for you? Did you know when you were a little kid that you wanted to grow up to be a senior quality analyst? How did you get to where you are educationally?
Educationally, it was a transition. So I knew I was going to be a leader in some aspect. My mom pointed that out at an early age. I grew up as an only child, so a lot of that leadership aspect kind of just flowed to me. So I knew I wanted to be in leadership. So I transitioned into my degreeing as a leader. So I have my leadership degree. And then as I transitioned in my work, I transitioned into more computer-based atmospheres. So a lot of Oracle work, a lot of different things that embodied computer science. And so that led me into computer science, strategic engineering, and receiving my master's degree this last month. In terms of in terms of transitioning into more of a team leader developed around computer science, strategic engineering, and how that embodies supporting our suppliers in a more effective manner. So that's how it transitioned for me.
Yeah, very awesome. So it was like a constant evolving. Exactly. And also keeping your focus on constantly learning, right?
Exactly.
One of the things we tell our students in all of our programs is really just focus, just open your eyes just on how technology evolves. And I tell people like you and I, even as we speak and we're talking, technology is changing.
It's changing.
Yes. And so one of the things that we stress to our students is when you're interviewing for jobs in the technology field, it's so important for you to impress to others that the fact that you can demonstrate, you can learn and apply. Right. Technology changes. So what we're using in technology today may change within a month, 2 years, or, even less than that. So it's so important for students to be able to demonstrate how, yes, they can learn technology, they can learn new processes and directions and apply it. And so can you speak to even, within your job, is that important even, to be successful in your job today?
Oh, it is key. Lockheed Martin focuses on digital transformation and what that looks like within our specific job duties. And essentially, how do we create ideas that help the overall business succeed? And so essentially, us as a team looking at different portals that can help increase visibility for our vendors, help it be more user-friendly. What does the process look like? How can we make it better? Essentially, that's going to take, making sure you're getting enough education in terms of what's new, what is, what is up and coming within technology as it rapidly changes. And then also, making sure that you're able to adapt to the change, the changes without losing your core principles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. My goodness. Absolutely. So part of Lockheed Martin, as you said, it's all about innovation. And I can tell you that's what excited me every day when I went in to work, because not only is Lockheed Martin such a huge organization, so many different businesses, companies inside of the one organization, but all you need to do is to be aware of what's going on in the Lockheed Martin environment to see is exciting, is innovative, it's working on the edge of a breakthrough as well, right? All of that happening right within the midst. So my question for you is, as you go into work, what is it that you like the most about Lockheed Martin?
Well, I said earlier, growing up as an only child, it created those leadership opportunities, but the key to being successful with Lockheed was being able to work with a team. So seeing the development of these relationships that have been created, and learning how to glean off of others that might have more knowledge in terms of different portals that are being used to support our team, how those individuals can help open up the floodgates in terms of what will help our team be better. So essentially tagging up with system engineers, system analysts, just developing how can we test a certain product that we use within Lockheed Martin? What does it look like? So it's just always changing and be open, which not only makes you good in life, but also life within work. So
wonderful, wonderful. So if I said, hey, Mr. Mical Franklin, give us a couple of words. Why would someone want to work at Lockheed Martin? Now, you told us what excited you. Right. So why would someone want to come and join and work for Lockheed Martin?
I think the main thing Lockheed Martin wants to know how you think. And a lot of organizations sometimes don't value your opinion. Lockheed Martin wants that information, wants to see how you feel about a certain situation. What are your thoughts? What can you do to enhance the situation? And are you willing to do the work to push that forward, to apply those principles that you've learned in your studies? So.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. And that's the environment. That's the culture, right?
Yeah, that's the culture you want to be in.
Absolutely. Yes. Very good. Very good. So I'm going to ask you a few questions as we wrap up here about the job search in preparation, right? Sure. So what was that application process like for you as you connected with Lockheed Martin?
So with Lockheed Martin, they have so many different resources. And I actually had a friend that worked for Lockheed Martin that sent me, based on my resume, a referral in terms of quality specialists. Mm-hmm. And so essentially that referral was creating opportunities for that individual within the organization, and then also created opportunities for me outside of the organization. So that referral process that Lockheed has developed helps you find the individuals that are really searching for an opportunity to grow the company, for lack of a better term. But essentially, going through that referral process, being able to connect with their specific managers, HR representatives, it gave it more of a home feeling versus, kind of a new employee coming in or new applicant coming in. This was more of, hey, I see his information here. He can be an asset to our company in terms of X, Y, and Z. Let's just have a meeting with this individual, with the referral individual. So it just made it a lot more conducive in terms of figuring out who is going to be the best fit for the job.
And that's my next question, being the best fit for the job. So you've been on the job for a while. What would you say were qualities that you had that made you stick out as that best candidate?
I think, having those leadership qualities and going through my leadership degree helped embody the computer science portion of it as well. Mm-hmm. And so essentially we're working with vendors across the nation. And then, obviously Lockheed Martin is site-wide with so many different sites across the world. So we're able to, communicate with a lot of individuals and be hands-on with how we build that. That has been the key for me, essentially.
So when you think about being on the job and what you manage and handle, and then you think back, and not too far because you recently completed your master's as well. Right. What would you say when you think of the studies that you went through? And you can tell me the truth. I'm an academic, but I can take it. And when you think about the job, what was easier, or maybe easy isn't really the question. The question was, what is easier, the real life, stepping into that position as senior quality analyst, growing into it as well, or the studies? Does it get easier? Or maybe I need to switch it and say, does it get more exciting as you step into the real walk of life?
Right. So for me, I like to see things created and happening, and so that I can apply those things that I'm learning. So everything I learned in my studies, it was enhanced by the position that I'm in. So now I'm able to actually help the change happen in terms of creating process changes. So my studies really were kind of simultaneously happening at the same time, so that I can see what I'm learning here in terms of, making a strategic change And then I can also see how I have the ability within my position to orchestrate that change, and then apply those studies that I've learned into, helping the organization. So.
Awesome. Very awesome.
Yeah.
So for our listening audience, our students, and again, like I said, they're from the beginning stages of their bachelor's to almost finishing their bachelor's and even in their master's as well. What 3 skills would you really highlight, or study areas, students? You really need to focus on this, take this in, because as you step into a position like senior quality analyst, this will really be important. What would be those 3 study areas?
Study areas, I would look at, certificates in different portals like, let's say Adobe, let's say Box. The Box tool is another tool that is created for our internal users to communicate one to another. There's different flow chart tools that can be accessible. Get enough education as you can to make yourself valuable in those specific areas, in terms of pulling charts and data analytics that give our leadership analytical look at how we are being successful within our organization. So that would be key, making sure that you have the education and the tools to support you within your ventures. Third would be, or second would be to embody a culture of change, not to get stuck in specific ways of thinking, but to be have a broad look at how your thinking process can really help someone else's process or someone else's outlook on how things are done. So not being stuck to a specific standard of way of thinking. So that's key as well. And then third would be just making sure that you understand that it's going to take a team in order to create those things. And sometimes you could see yourself, working a situation on your own, but you got to keep on pushing, keep on making sure that you're asking the right individuals, never just settle for the normal, make sure that you're pushing the envelope to make sure you're connecting with the right individuals to make things happen. And that's key for Lockheed Martin development.
That is awesome, because if there is anything in our talk that you stress just in speaking, teamwork, even you started off in speaking on that importance of teamwork, leadership as well, right? And stepping into those leadership opportunities when they're there as well, and knowing your skills, being up on those tools is so important, right?
Exactly. Absolutely.
If you continuously study and get those certifications as well, is always a plus.
Exactly. Take full responsibility over those things that come your way, and take advantage of them when they come. Learn as much as you possibly can.
So I'm telling you, Michael, this has been so awesome. You have just flooded us with great insights for anyone interested in stepping into the quality engineering field. Let me ask you one more question. I think this whole discussion has been inspirational, but if you wanted to share just a few words of inspiration to our listening audience out there, what would it be?
Never quit. Never, always bet on yourself. Make sure that when you're betting on yourself, you don't allow yourself to think twice, right? Make sure that you're focused on moving forward in every aspect of the organization. Most times you'll see processes happen very slowly. The change happens slowly, and some can go quickly. It just depends on the change that's happening. But when it's happening slowly, not allow yourself to get stagnant and in that process. So that's what I would recommend for upcoming students.
Those are words of wisdom that are excellent, just excellent. And so I like to say, Mr. Mical, on behalf of myself and University of Arizona Global Campus and all of our technology study students, thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your walk and sharing your words of inspiration and telling us about Lockheed Martin as well. What an awesome company it is that you work for.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yes, I was reading recently that Lockheed Martin is on the forefront once again in, I guess, advancing our boom technology. Yes, doing that. So I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. My father worked for McDonnell Douglas. It became Boeing. And that's where, at a young age, I got my exposure to the whole aerospace environment, aviation environment, you know, the whole world.
Yes.
He would take us to the air shows all the time as little kids. And it was a natural for me to end up evolving into a company like Lockheed Martin. And even today, I totally get excited with what is going on, right, in the whole aviation aerospace environment. And Lockheed Martin is right there still leading the way in all that it does. So what a wonderful work ground, playground you have that you get to go into every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am blessed beyond measure.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So I'd like to say thank you once again, and we will be in contact as well. We will be staying in contact with you. If our students have any questions that they would like to submit as they watch this, could we get those questions over to you maybe?
Absolutely. Anytime.
Very good. Okay, very good, students. You heard that. So if you have questions, you can shoot those to me, and we'll make sure that Mr. Mical Franklin receives it. Thanks again, Mical. You take care.
Thank you. All right, you as well.
Okay, all right. Now let's hear interviewing tips on landing that job with Lockheed Martin from the recruiter, Branwyn Boffman.
I've actually been working for Lockheed Martin for over 20 years, and what makes me stay is the people, the culture, and the opportunities. And another thing is that they really focus on and support your professional development. Hi, my name is Branwyn Boffman. I'm a recruiter with Lockheed Martin, and in this video I will share a little bit about the application process, the culture, and I'll give you a few tips on how to help you stand out in the process. So an applicant can best prepare for an interview by taking a look at the job description. You want to see what the skills are that they're looking for, and then come up with a list of your best attributes that are going to align with the behavioral interviewing questions that they're going to ask. So for example, if one of them is leadership, you can come up with 3 or 4 examples that best help highlight your leadership skills. Another tip that I can give you is to practice, practice, practice. Grab a friend, a coworker, spouse, anybody that could help run through mock interviews with you. It absolutely matters what a resume looks like. You want to make sure that you go through your resume and make sure that it is organized, it's in chronological order, and most importantly, make sure there are no spelling errors. A resume that stands out to me is one that lists your accomplishments versus your attributes. So I want to see how you have contributed to your current job and all of your previous roles versus just listing your daily tasks. Some tips that I always suggest to my candidates are that you make sure that you do your research on the company and the role itself. Have a list of questions that you can ask the team, because this not only shows that you do your research, but that you are very interested in this role and took the time to prepare. Lockheed Martin has really great benefits. They also really encourage work-life flexibility. I absolutely feel a great sense of purpose working for Lockheed Martin. And coming from a family with several members in different military branches, as well that have fought in different wars, that's very important to me. I have the privilege of hiring the different engineers and the technicians that build those products that help protect our armed forces. Thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to apply. We're waiting for you at Lockheed Martin.
So on behalf of all the Faculty of Technology Studies, we'd like to say To all of our graduates, those who are preparing to walk that stage, complete your degree, we are so proud of you. A few of us will be in Tucson to meet you, to congratulate you, take pictures with you, and just let you know how proud of you we are. For all of those who cannot attend the graduation in May, you're receiving all of our kudos and congratulations virtually, and we still would like to reach out to you in any way that we can, even after you graduate. To all graduates, if you want to get in contact with us, if you want any support from all of us as your faculty, career services as well, do not hesitate to get in contact with us. And again, we are proud of all of our students of technology studies. Thank you for tuning in to our virtual delivery of the Technology Town Hall Technology Connect session. We're going to interchange the live sessions with the virtual recorded session to accommodate all of our working students. And so from, again, the faculty, you take care, stay engaged, follow up on the opportunities, Lockheed Martin and other companies, internships as well. And we are here to support you in all that you do. Take care.